for you to be able to like complete nursing school, you have to spend approximately Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. So when I talk about the amount I spent when I was in nursing school, this is not the exact amount because you know at times there's some miscellaneous things that you might forget about, or there are some things that you might like have added that are a little extra that maybe you didn't spend as much. So this is just like an approximation of what I spent, and I thought of creating this video because most people are joining right now, and at times you just like to know like approximately how much should I be placing down so that I can know this is the amount that I'm expecting myself to be spending. So that's why today I thought of sharing my own experience on like approximately how much did I spend when I was in nursing school. So if you're new here, my name is Lesodro. Just make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss any other video whenever I post it. That is for nursing videos and for vlogs. I also do motivational videos and like a lot of things around here. So the first thing, I'll be reading them out from this paper. So I'll first start with the fees. Like for us, we did 3.5 years, but I know right now people are doing nursing for 3 years. So for 3.5 years, every year we used to pay 80,000 Kenyan shillings, and I think when we were in our third year or something, there's a time we started paying 78,000, but it didn't make like such much difference because 78 and 80 like it is just still the same. So I'll be using 80,000. So if it is for someone who is doing 3 years like the way you guys are doing right now, you'll be spending something like 240,000 for the 3 years. But for us, because we did the 3.5 years, for fees we spent 320,000. That is only for fees. Then when we were like joining, we had other extra expenses, like apart from your own personal expenses, we had other extra fees that you were paying. That is like for NCK. For NCK, I'll be calculating it thrice because even the ones that I've paid for exams and for getting my license, I still consider myself a student because I haven't started working. So I'll be calculating it thrice. So that is the 9,400 that we paid when coming in, and then the 8,500 for exams, and then the other one that we paid 8,500 for us to be able to get the license. So that is like approximately 26,400. So for NCK alone, we paid like 26,000 for NCK alone. Fees, I said 320,000. Then come to accommodation. So most of the time during your first year, usually just stay in the hostel. So I think during my almost the first and the second year, I stayed in the hostel, and for us we used to pay 5,000 per semester. So because you have 2 semesters, that is like the entire year you just pay 10,000. So that is, I paid I think for 2 years, although at times you used to go for attachments in the middle of the semester, and you had to like leave your money there and go pay rent somewhere else. So for approximately the 2 years I was during my first years in nursing school, that is approximately 20,000. So that is 20,000. And then when you are moving like for the attachments, you know, when you go for attachments, you need to find somewhere to stay. Like they don't offer you accommodation. So when you go for your attachments, you need to find your own rentals because most of the time the driver usually takes you there. Then they leave you at the hospital, the district hospital in that place. Then from there you'll have to find a house like as fast as you can, because I remember there's this time we were left there at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. You don't know this place, you want to find a house, you don't know these people, you don't even know like it is just so tricky. So you'll end up finding a rental house that is maybe expensive because you just want to sleep for the day and you just want to stay for only 1 month or 2. So I remember like places like Naivasha, we used to pay like 3,000. So rent for students, like if you stay in single rooms and bed sitters, it is just between 3,000, 4,000 or 2,000. If you get a good single room, between 2,000 and 4,000 for students, that is just enough. Like staying above that, I don't know, and staying below that, we are staying in a really weird places because there are places that you get with little amount of money, but sanitation so bad, everything so bad. So if you can get a bed sitter like 3,500 or 4,000, the better. So even places like Nanyuki, I think I stayed in a house that was 3,500. When I was in Muranga, I think also like 3,500, and in Mombasa it was like 3,500 the rent. When I was in Kabare, we got a house for 4,000, but we stayed like three students, and we were paying like 1,000 and something. From where I think we were paid like 2,000 each. So it is just something that is not quite expensive. So if I add up with the amount of times that I was there in attachments, when I just sat down and add up like how many months I stayed in Naivasha, in Nyanyuki, in Murang'a, in Mombasa, in Kabare, like that, when I add it up, it is almost 50,000 just for rentals, like renting these houses. Whenever I go for attachments, it was just like 50,000. But I know there's more, because when you go to these houses, some landlords, they usually require you to pay deposit, and then you pay that deposit, and when it comes time for you to leave, because you've only stayed there for 2 months, they'll tell you, where to, when you get there, we'll send you the deposit, because the bus will leave, you just have to go, you can't stay there. When you go back to college and you try calling them, they're nowhere to be found. They'll start ignoring you. Deposit inaenda tu hivyo. So I think most of the time students usually just leave deposit in some places, but if you are lucky enough to find a place where you don't have to pay deposit, the better. So what I usually tell people is, we have students who have already gone to those places. We have students who are ahead of you, who have already like done those attachments and gone to those same places. Ask them where they used to stay, then they can give you the number of those landlords. Then you can just, like, when you get there, you just have to just call and say, give this number by nani, is there any vacant house? Because most of the time, if students move and the other ones come, you usually find a vacant house. So it will be easier for you if you just get the number from other students. Then if you want to look for these houses yourself, you might end up getting like really weird landlords and weird neighbors. Like, I think that is what you can do, because for them, they've stayed there for 2 months, so they know which house is better, which house is not a good idea. And then number 3, you're going to talk about food. So for food, during our first year, we used to spend like approximately 100 a day. Like lunch, you can pay 50 bob. Supper, you can pay 50 bob and eat like chapati and like maragwe, and lunch you can eat like even ugali and skuma for that 50 bob. But at times you might end up spending like 30 bob, then the 20 bob you can use it for miscellaneous. Like at times you want to eat biscuits, you want to eat a fruit, so it is just approximately like 100 shillings. But remember, I can say we still have other miscellaneous, because you have to do shopping, you have to buy like tissue paper, sanitary towels, like the other expenses on shopping. But for food, it was like approximately 100 each and every day. So for the first 2 years, that is like, because I'll be looking at it in terms of 10 months every year, because we used to have holiday in December and used to have another holiday in August. Like August was our long holiday, and it was only for 1 month. That is the only holiday, August. And then December you can go for like Christmas and so on. So like for 20 months, let's say you're spending 100 every day, that is 100 times like 600 days, so that is 60,000 Kenyan shillings for food. That is for the first 2 years when we were staying in the hostels. For the rest 1.5 years, I think we're just moving and moving because of attachment. We're just all over the place most of the time. So that is like for 14 months, yeah. So for those 14 months, let's say, you know, when you're staying in rentals, you can end up spending lesser or more depending on how you do it, because you can buy skuma for 10 shillings and maybe you've already done shopping for unga. So when you've already done your shopping so well, it only requires you to like buy skuma 10 bob, buy eggs, like 2 eggs, and like for even 30 shillings you already have your supper. So you just have to go and shop. So like that is like approximately 100 shillings when I consider that those other 20 you've spent in doing shoppings and so on. So it is just like putting the same thing, like 100 shillings. So that is for 420 days, that is like 42,000. So when you add up for food only, it was like 102,000. That's an approximation. You've not like added all the other expenses, like the other small things you usually buy. So if you add them, it is like 150,000, yeah. And then we usually have some miscellaneous that just come from nowhere, like some weird miscellaneous. So I'm going to like put 30 bob every day for this miscellaneous, because you might be walking and then you see a good avocado, you can't leave a good avocado. Or you might be walking and you see like good earrings and you just can't leave. So there's some things that you'll end up picking on the way, like let me just put 30 bob every day for that. So for the number of months you've been in college, that is like for 34 months, and then that is times 30, you get 1,020 days. So 30 bob for those 1,020 days, you get 30,600. So this 30,600 is for all the miscellaneous things that you've been buying here and there, here and there. And remember, there's some people who spend more than that. There's some people for miscellaneous, they can even spend 100 per day for just miscellaneous. Like when they see a cloth, maybe you saw a dress, 500, you bought it, so you've already spent like for 5 days, you've already spent the 100 shillings for 5 days. So it can be more than this 30,000 For some people, I think miscellaneous can even go to 100,000 because of the things they used to buy, because they get there and then they find like people dress in a certain way, and then they find that people eat some certain things and they want to fit in, so they end up spending a lot of money to buy these things. And then for miscellaneous again, when it comes to movement, remember I told you we go for attachments. For these attachments, at times the bus might not be taking you. We are so lucky that most of the time the bus used to take us to these placements. At times when the bus is not taking you for this placement, you have to take yourself there, and remember it is usually most likely in another county, so you have to spend money for you to find something that can be able to move you, because you have your bed, you have so many things in the house, so you just need a pickup or something else bigger than a car for you to be able to move. So you'll be able to spend money in movement. And remember, even if the bus takes you there, like the bus does not take you to your house, so when the bus leaves you at the hospital, you have to find another means for you to be able to get to that house that you're going to rent. So that means you're going to find either a tuk-tuk or mkokoteni or whichever thing that can be able to carry you to that place. You're going to need to spend some money. And also say something like deposit. Those are money that you never expected, but you ended up leaving your money somewhere else because someone cannot return your deposit. So if you see like someone can be able to spend either lesser than this or higher than this, depending on where you are, depending on who you are as a person, or yeah, something like that. You can be able to spend higher or less. So if I try and add up all these things, 30,000, 102, 50,000, 240,000, 26,000, I'll be able to get to 489,000. 489,000. That is just like higher than I even expected. So for you to be able to like complete nursing school, you have to spend approximately 500,000. That is just 500,000. So I know people can be able to spend lesser than that. The people who can be able to spend like in the highest point 400,000. The people who can be able to end up going to even 600,000 or 700,000, even a million, I don't know. So you guys can tell me down in the comment section if you're already done with nursing school, like approximately how much did you spend for your stuff, like everything. If you just try and approximate how much did you spend in nursing school. This video was not to discourage anyone on how expensive nursing school is, but it was just to be like preparation for you to be able to know that you'll be able to spend more. So whenever you have a certain amount of money with you, don't waste it, because there's some extra things that are coming ahead of you. So the lesser you spend, the better. So just know how to manage your money. And yeah, so that is it for today. If you have any other video suggestion, you can leave it down in the comment section so that I can make a video for you guys. So thank you for watching this video, and see you on my next video.